Hello, Huskies, and welcome back to another episode of the Taka Latte podcast. My name is Jamie, your host, and today's episode, we are meeting with a very special registered student organization on campus, ASO, also known as African Students Organization, and we have two lovely guests here with me today. So, lovely guests, if you'd like to introduce yourselves, let us know where you're from, what your major is, and what your involvement is with ASO.
Okay, my name is Tadiwana Sechkanda. I'm a master's student doing biological sciences, and I'm now in my final year. I come from Zimbabwe.
Awesome.
And I also serve as the Secretary General for ASO.
Awesome.
Okay, my name is Obidi Bulaji Dennis. I'm from Nigeria. I am PhD student in applied mathematics. This is my fourth year in my PhD, and I'm the president of ASO.
Awesome. And so you guys have been here for a while, so you're the reigning experts on campus, right? That's why you're serving as the executives on ASO. Well, since you've been here a while, other than ASO, is there anything else that you're involved with on campus? Any other organizations or clubs?
Yeah, I'm also the GSG rep for applied mathematics department. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What about you?
Yeah, for myself, I participate in other organizations in my department, as well as just being involved in other organizations like in NCBE. Yeah.
Awesome. And so obviously we're talking about ASO today. So for those that may be new students incoming or other people on campus that don't really know what ASO is, what is ASO? What do you guys do?
Okay. Also, we are an African student organization which was founded in 2001 with the aim to promote cultural awareness and diversity in the university and the world at large.
Okay, in addition to that, we provide a community that, similar to what we have in Africa. We believe that, coming to the US for the first time, it could be, we want to eliminate what we call the culture shock that, so we want to provide an environment that you feel, similar to what you have in Africa before you now blend to the American ways of life.
For sure. And I know I like to put our shameless plugs in these episodes as well. And so you mentioned a very important topic, culture shock. And we did talk about that as well in season 1. So be sure that you check that out for more information on that. But for incoming students, let's say, how can they reach out to ASO and become a member of ASO? Is there a certain process, or is anyone free to join meetings and events?
I would say we always encourage students to keep in touch with IPS. They will connect you to this organization, and our primary contact is Dennis, our president. He is the one who is responsible to make sure that if you need any help or anything, he'll be able to give you that help. So it's easy to contact us. Just go to ASO MTU website, then you can get all the information you need.
Awesome. Yeah, and I know, too, with the incoming class as well, recently, there's a lot of African students coming in. The community is definitely growing, especially since you're from Zimbabwe. A lot of your group came in, and you guys have done a really great job at trying to incorporate those new students in your group. So thank you for that, definitely. And not only just joining ASO, but if someone is interested in the future, to be the president or to be the secretary, what is the process of elections there?
The first thing is you join through the involvement link, like the secretary said. Then when you join, then we also have a WhatsApp platform where we keep update of our activities. One thing I will encourage you to do is that make yourself present, because you don't want to lead an organization that you are not involved or you don't know what they are doing there. So when you involve yourself, our election is open to every ASO members. We have a clause, though not really a law, that you have to complete the semesters, because we know our primary aim of being here is our academics. We want to ensure that the organization activity does not affect your academic pursuit. So when you complete the semester, then you can register and vie for any position in the organization.
Yeah, and that is very important that you mention that because, obviously people are hesitant about joining organizations because they don't know the time commitment. So to hear that you guys, ensure that everyone is doing well academically is really important. And kind of on the same page as that, then, are there any resources that ASO provides in assistance with anything that students may have problems with, whether that's, academically, physically, whatever that may be?
Yeah, we would say yes. We have some resources we offer as ASO. First thing, for academic support, we try to make sure that anyone else who has any challenge when it comes to academic, we are able to assist. We have that department in our executive that can give you resources or will tell you where to go to get help. And also, I think the main thing, like what you have said, that is ASO, we are here to promote cultural awareness. So that's first thing I would say, it's a resource to most of the African community because we are able to make sure that we are promoting their culture from different countries we are coming from.
Yeah.
So, and I would also say we try to partner with other organizations outside the campus as well. Like now we are working on winter is coming and we are worried about our incoming students. Maybe they didn't get enough clothing for winter. So we are trying to partner with other organizations outside the campus so that we can get resources for our incoming students.
Right.
So we do a lot, and we really appreciate the assistance we are getting from even the Dean of Students and peers to get such resources for our students.
Definitely.
Okay, I think the secretary have said it all, but I would just want to add a few things that all you just need to do is to reach out to us. Any of those things you need, any challenges or any help you need. If we are not the primary source of providing that assistance, we know the best way, maybe the IPS or the grad coordinator or any of those beneficiary resources on campus. We have the contact to provide if those things are beyond what we can provide immediately.
Definitely. Yeah. And we appreciate your efforts in doing that as well because, these new students, they don't really know anyone on campus, right? So they may feel comfortable reaching out to other students from their country or, ASO in general. So it's awesome that you guys are kind of that middleman if there's something that you can't help with directly. And in terms of, obviously we've talked about how they can reach out to you, but if you have any events or anything going on, where can new students find this information if they don't reach out to you directly?
We normally post on our website pages, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. We are always active and we always post upcoming events. So they just need to check. And we also use our email list, official ASO email list, to make sure that people are always informed about the information coming up.
Right. And I know that with previous semesters as well, we've had Dennis reach out as the president, obviously, and, have us pass along that information to incoming students as well to be added to the WhatsApp group, like you mentioned. So for those new international students that are coming in, do you provide any resources for that as well? Like I know some struggle with maybe getting transportation to, campus or their housing, but are there any other things that you do in that regard?
Sorry, I didn't hear you correctly. You were asking if we are able to provide other resources other than transport.
Yeah, so for like incoming students that, maybe aren't sure the ropes or, have that transportation upon arrival, is there anything that ASO does there?
Yes.
Okay.
We always make sure that we get transport for our students.
Okay.
And we are very happy that we managed to do that for the incoming students, all of them. We managed to provide transport where we're using cars from the old students who are already here. And accommodation as well. I would like to thank my president for his efforts. He made sure that everyone else who came without accommodation get temporary accommodation because the school normally allows people to go to Daniel Heights from 15 going onwards. And we had some students who came earlier than that. Some came in July, some came in early August. But we had to make sure that everyone got accommodation and everyone got transport from the airport to school.
Right.
Of course, I don't want to take that praise alone because whole lot of ASO members, even those that are not executive, actually helped in providing accommodation. We want to advise. Maybe I should use this to advise, give a general advice to our students, most especially the incoming one, if they can have access to these platforms. Try to come very close to when the dining hall will be open for you because we don't have large, accommodation. But of course, for this previous year, I really want to give that praise to our ASO members, even though they are not executive. We call them and they actually accommodate one or two students so that they ensure that everybody has a very good, first week of adoption.
Definitely. It really is a community effort. I mean, like you mentioned as well with, if there's something you can't handle, you direct them to the proper channels. And it's really cool to see it all to come together as well as a community and forming those connections. Like I know my favorite thing is when the new students start checking in, a big group will come with a current student and it's awesome to see. And so, definitely the efforts that you guys make are there and we really appreciate that. And other than just simple support like that, I know that you also hold events throughout the year as well. So let's dive a little into those. I know that African Night is one of my favorites. So let's talk a little bit more about what African Night is.
Okay, even before African Night will come up something March or April. But before then, even from October 1st, we have a series of events that we'll communicate very soon to everybody. But since we want to talk about the African Night, African Night is just a period where we showcase, to whole teen community and to, all other international students on campus on what Africa really represents. As you know, we have a very rich culture in Africa, and to some, when they hear Africa, they think of a country. No, we are not. We have almost about 53 different countries that share the same common heritage. African Night is all about our culture. Despite we are different, we are from different African countries, but we want to showcase what really unite Africa. I want to tell others that are not Africans the power of African people.
Yes. Yeah, the music, the food, it's always all so much fun. And I have to take this moment now to shout out our producer, Farida, who is from Ghana. And I'm also going to touch on this because one of the things that is mentioned a lot or is included with, African Night or Parade of Nations is jollof rice. And so I know we have a Nigerian and a Ghanaian in this room. And I hear that there's this weird, competition going on whose is better. So let's talk to you since you're the Zimbabwean in the room, Toddy. What's your favorite out of the jollof rice? Do you like Nigerian or Ghanaian better?
Ghanaian is better.
Sorry, Mr. President, you lost this time.
One powerful thing about this competition is that it is born out of love. It's not really a competition in quotes, it's just a fun thing, right? But what I would say in general, I won't say because I'm in Nigeria and I would say jollof rice is better than, fried rice is better than jollof rice. But when you say jollof rice, on campus, people want to, associate that with Ghanaian rice. No, Nigerian too cook jollof rice. We cook jollof rice and we also cook fried rice. I want to believe that it depends on who is tasting this food and it depends on who prepared it.
Right.
I want to say at the point, Ghanaian rice made better in another occasion. Nigerian rice.
Exactly.
But of course, let me give it to Tade that. Okay, you have tasted the two and you give it to Ghanaian.
You'll take the L this time. Well, I know we always like to talk in our podcast, and Christian, my co-host, is not here today, but I know him and I like to go back and forth about our love for food. So I just want ASO to know that if you ever want a judging competition, IPS will happily judge your food. We love food, so let us know.
I think we've not included that in our African Night before. I think this year we're going to include that.
Okay.
We're going to bring about maybe 5 or 7 different individuals to judge primarily the Nigerian rice.
Well, there we go. Yeah. Awesome. Yes. We love our food. And yes, African Night is a whole night of just amazing events and pieces. The food, the entertainment. I love watching you guys with your entertainment. You're so fun, so happy. And it's just an amazing time. So definitely keep an eye out for that when that happens.
If I include this, I think this year there's going to be a new, not really new, but to campus new food from Zimbabwe. You know, we tried it during the Parade of Nations. We prepared small portion of it, and people actually, come for that, and within like few minutes, it is gone. So we bring a lot of the Zimbabwe.
Is it a Zaza?
Zaza and
Zaza
and garlic, right?
Zaza and
Released
mixed beef and chicken.
Okay.
No, this is just me chipping in that after the Parade of Nations, Brad from the Center for Outreach came into the office to just say that the Zaza made his entire weekend.
I really received, I think, 3 different emails from MTU community that I don't even know, asking for if we can, provide more of that.
Exactly.
So it's gonna be one of our new menu on the Africa night.
Well, awesome. I'm excited.
Eating food now.
Yeah, in Zimbabwe, you've had so many new students, which is awesome. So you got to add them in the mix with their competitive foods. Yeah. So other than African Night, then, are there any other substantial events or even just small events that you guys hold throughout the year?
Yeah. Like I was saying before, on November 1st, we're gonna have a football competition. We call it sport. It's gonna bring our ladies to play volleyball. Some of our guys will also be joining playing volleyball. We're gonna have soccer, the one we call football in Nigeria. So, and 2 weeks after that, we're gonna have other events, bowling games. Go out and enjoy ourselves. Then after that, we want to have movie night, but we'll communicate this in our WhatsApp group to our community.
Okay.
I think the secretary wants to say something like that.
Yeah, good. Yeah, we are going to communicate through all our WhatsApp pages to make sure that students are informed.
Awesome.
Rather than events, we organize ourselves. We also participate with other events on campus. Like IPS, you organize one of the important events, Parade of Nations, which we did already. Those are such events we take part in as well.
And in terms of any other events, do you do any like educational focused events, like any workshops or anything as well?
Yeah, that is also on the plan. It's part of what we're going to communicate to our students. Actually, winter is coming, and we know it's going to, most especially for the new student, it's going to be bored, it's going to be different. We actually want to use this opportunity to reach out to every one of us. Don't just stay in your room, just come out. Don't get depressed, come out and have fun. I understand that it's important we have some academic activities, but of course we don't want to add another academic burden to what you have in class or assignment you have. All what you want to do is add a bit of fun to your academic stuff, and you're going to enjoy it.
Yes, definitely. And I guess on that same topic as well, for those new students that might be coming in for their first semester, the homesickness hits, the culture shock hits. So for you, maybe, or what's your advice for these new students on what are some ways that you can stay connected to home while you're here in the United States? Is there anything that you've found particularly useful in, kind of combating that homesickness?
Yeah, I would say I would encourage students to stay connected with their families through social media. It's very, very, very important to keep in touch with your family, your friends at home, because I understand that cultural shock is something that is difficult to go through, but I think it's good to stay connected with your family and friends. That's what I would say.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think, like I said from the beginning, that one of the important of ESO on campus is to provide that home away from home. Coming to our events, it gives you a sense of, at times when we come to ESO, maybe meetings or event, you see some people that speak your dialect. In that environment, it feels as if you are back home. you see people now not English. The one we speaking now, speak out your dialect.
Right.
You communicate freely. You laugh, you joke. That actually bring that home very close to you, despite you are in America. At the same time, it's very important, like the secretary said, that you communicate with your parents, your relatives at home, so that you don't, feel too much.
Yeah, definitely. And in terms of, once people do come through Michigan Tech, participate in ASO, and they graduate, they're alumni, they might be working on OPT or heading back home. Does ASO have any involvement with your alumni, and what part do they play in the organization?
Yeah, definitely we do. And I want to say that we have very strong alumni body. We even have a WhatsApp group, and they are part of that WhatsApp group. They provide a lot of assistance. Of recent, one of our alumni gave us information on how to prepare very well for the career fair. And when you graduate, of course, if you reach out to us, we can as well connect you to some of our alumni that are in some of these companies. Like one of the program we have, there's this part of connectivity that you need to connect to people that are in these, company. So if you reach out to us, we can as well connect you to our alumni for possible, help or information that can actually, lead you through.
For sure. And this is a little bit more of a fun topic question, but I know this is something that we get pretty often. But obviously, we've talked a lot about the cultural food staples as well, and making all those meals from back home. But we're obviously a very small community and not many shopping outlets. So in terms of your ingredients, your international ingredients, what's your go-to place to purchase these?
We get them from online, and Walmart does most of the things, although some of things might not be the same exactly to what we're expecting, but at least they'll be close to what we'll be looking for. So we normally buy from Walmart, online shops like Amazon, and as well, I think we have gem shop here at the school. I think with the increasing number of people from Ghana, they are able to bring some of the food for the Ghanaian community, and we make use of such resources.
Yeah.
So we hope that since now we have a lot of Zimbabweans, we're going to talk to them so that they can bring something for us, because I think we've been failing to get some of the ingredients from Zimbabwe.
Right.
But that's what I would say. We just rely on resources we have, shops we have nearby, and online.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I want to use this. I want to appeal to maybe the IPS to help us connect to Houghton general community to provide us Africa market here. When you get to Chicago, you have a lot of Africa market, Detroit, all of this. Presently, we have more than 200 African students on campus, and I believe that is good number. And that is only F1 student.
Yeah.
We have F2 students that have children. In general, we might be more than 300 students. I think apart from Walmart, maybe we can, even tell Walmart to create an Africa section where we have Africa ingredient or Africa food. Though they have internationals, but majority of those things international, they are not Africa food.
Right.
Jim's supermarket is really trying, because presently I have Melo, I have Ijebu Gari, that is from my village in Nigeria. We have that there. But of course, we can talk to Walmart if they know that there are people to buy those foodstuffs. I think they can create a section for us.
For sure. Yeah, Jim's definitely has done a great job over the past few years at trying to adapt. So if the odd chance someone from Jim's Food Mart is listening, you hear them out, Zimbabwean ingredients, please. But yeah, hopefully in the next few years, they'll continue to work at that. But I know it's come a long way already. And yeah, before we wrap up, another question for you guys. Are there any lessons that you've learned while being at Michigan Tech, or even with your involvement in ASO, that you would like to pass along to other African students or even new incoming students?
Yeah, I would say yes. I think also, like what my president was saying, it is really helped me to stay connected with my community. It's very difficult to think where I am now. I'm too far from my family, but having African community here, it really helped me. So, but one thing I've learned from that is communication is very important. Just be someone who is social. I know we have different characters, but we are urging our African community to be social, to participate in ASO events. Then you have a lot of things to learn from those events. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. Personally, I think back in Nigeria, I'm only familiar with Western African countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Benin Republic, those that are very close in the western part of Africa. But coming to tech, I learned a lot about Eastern Africa, Southern, Central, from Zimbabwe, from South Africa, Botswana, Kenya, and so on. So ASO actually give you a comprehensive scope of Africa countries.
Right.
And apart from that, ASO also gave us a platform to actually integrate our culture to the American way of life, because they'll be here before us.
Yeah.
Those that are here, they introduce us to, these are what you can do, these are what you can do. One very experience that I will never forget in a hurry is the greeting aspect of Michigan Tech. In Africa, when you see someone, you greet. It's not something bad. You see someone say, "Hey, how you doing?" And that person will say, "Oh, I'm fine."
Yeah.
Like that. You don't need to know yourself before that.
Right.
Here in America, I think the first week, I will greet people. The only thing I get is a 2-second smile. I was like, "Oh, does it mean they don't like me?" But with time, I get to understand that it's not really that they hate you or they're about. It's just their way of life. So ASO actually provide us those simple tips that can help us to integrate perfectly into the community.
Right.
It's a very, 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 very good experience.
Yeah, and I think too, like other places in the United States are so different, even compared to Houghton. It's completely different. And as someone who's lived here for so long, it's like you get used to this way of life, and that's one of the reasons I love my job so much, is being able to learn from you guys too and what you do. And right now, the newest craze is the African music. I mean, I love the beats. See, nothing but good things to say. Check it out at African Night. But again, just for everyone that's listening, if they want to reach out, if they want to get all the information, where can they reach out again?
I think I would advise students to look at our website, ASO MTU website. They can get all the resources, get all the information they will need from there.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for being here. I really appreciate you joining me today, and also for everything that you guys have been doing as a part of ASO for our students. So thank you so much for being here. Yeah, thank you. And we will see you next time for another episode of the Talk a Latte podcast.
This has been an IPS production with Michigan Tech University. If you would like to be featured in a future episode, reach out to us at ips@mtu.edu or come to our office in the administration building. Bye!